Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Balance on the account is $168,873.45. Let's go ahead and look at the performance for the past week. Overall, the portfolio was in the green. It was up 0.66% or $1,104.31. Let's look at the hold-ins. I just have two. The first is a VU, which is the S&P 500 ETF by Vanguard. That was up 0.28% or $271.79. VU for the past week definitely had several red days, like very, very red days. So I'm actually really pleasantly surprised that it ended in the green. So yeah, that's good. It was really scary this past week with VU and just the major dips that it took. And then for SCHD, she did so well. SCHD, this is the Schwab US Dividend ETF, and SCHD was up 1.21% or $832.52. Now I'm thinking, should I maybe update my allocation so that money can start going into SCHD? Because right now, as you see here, VU is 58.7% of my overall portfolio, and then SCHD is 41.2%. But my future split between these two is 80% VU. That's what I'm working towards, and 20% SCHD. So technically, I'm just focused on building up my VU position. Just because from a long-term growth perspective, the S&P 500 has a proven track record versus SCHD. SCHD, I think overall still performs well, but just again from a long-term growth perspective, S&P 500 is the better way to go than SCHD. But I love them both and I want to invest in both of them. So I just want to make sure the allocation is proportioned. But with how SCHD has been performing, I don't know, maybe it should be 80% SCHD and 20% VU. Anyway, I'm kidding. All right, let's go ahead and look at the deposits for the past week. I mentioned I think it's like 2 weeks ago at this point, that I am truly working towards trying to get this portfolio balanced to over 200,000 or 200,000 by the end of December 2024. So this year, so technically I only have, let's see, September, October, November, I have 4 months to get this balance from 168 to 200,000. So that's definitely a big ambitious goal that I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to accomplish, but I'm definitely going to try. And what that essentially means is that I'm just going to be chucking as much money as I can into the brokerage account, keeping my fingers crossed that the stock market goes up and not crashes, and see if I can get there that way. But let's just look at the activities for the past week. So starting on August 26th, I put in $200. It all went to VU and I got 0.38 shares. And then on August 27th, I put in $817. It all went to VU and I got 1.58 shares. And then again on August 29th, I put in $1,000. It all went to VU and I got 1.94 shares. And then on August 30th, I put in $50. It all went to VU and I got 0.09 shares. So if you add up all those deposits for the past week, I put in, let's see if I can do math, $2,067 for the week. And the majority of this money was coming from like a check that was due back to me out of this situation that I got scammed out of. I got some of my money refunded back. Plus also it was a payday week as well. So I just made sure that I just put as much money as I could into the brokerage account. So really, really working hard again to get to that 200,000. I'm just doing everything I can to accomplish that goal. I just feel like once I hit 200K in this portfolio, I think I could breathe a little bit easier because I feel like the compounding will just be more substantial once I get to that balance versus where it is right now. Plus, I'm also trying to retire early, so as large as I could possibly get my brokerage account, the better. So that's why I am working towards it. Let's go ahead and look at the holdings. Yes. Overall, portfolio is up 13.21% or $19,708. VU is up 12.49% or $11,015.15. And then SCHD, look at her. She is just doing her thing. She's up 14.25% or $8,692.85. So SCHD has a pretty decent lead on VU at this point. Now, of course, I understand long term, this is probably not where the overall returns will land on each of them, right? Like VU probably most likely will surpass SCHD at some point, which is completely fine. But SCHD, man, she's like, listen, I am amazing and I am here to stay. And I'm just so happy that I have her in my portfolio. But that is all the updates for this week. Right now, I don't have any money to deposit for next week, but that might change. But look how close I am to $170,000. I am really nervous about the month of September because the month of September typically is a red month, meaning that your balance goes down. So even though I'm so close to 170,000, I don't know if I'm even going to be close to 170,000 come the end of September. I am planning to put a significant amount of money into the brokerage account in the month of September. At a minimum, at least $5,000 will be invested in September, but I don't know if even with the $5,000 invested, additional investment, if the portfolio will end at a higher balance in September versus what it is now in August, which is essentially the end of August. So this is the final balance for the portfolio for the month of August. So I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, if I can put that $5,000 in minimum for September, I'm going to aim to put in more. And if the portfolio, even with the losses in the market for September, right? Let's say September continues to be a red month. If I could just end at 170, I would be happy with that. Because then that means it's $30,000 towards 200,000. So it just becomes more and more realistic and it feels just more real from that perspective. But I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. There's so many variables that can happen to completely derail this goal. So I'm trying not to get like too caught up on it or like too attached to it. It's just an aspirational goal that I'm trying to get this balance to 200,000. I'll try my best. If life happens and that doesn't happen, that's completely fine. I'm just so proud of myself to have the portfolio and have it at whatever balance it is. So it's not going to be a big deal if it doesn't work out, but I really, really want it to work out. All right, so that is everything for this week, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.